Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand. From Africa to the world, connecting every voice.
Hello and thanks for staying tuned. This is CEMTV News on the hour. Remember, truth first, you next. Stay informed to stay empowered. I am Mibaka Yenengi with the news, including the headlines of today's stories and others. Port Harcourt residents react to presidential proposal to extend the duration of the National Youth Service Corps Orientation Program. Ekiti Church kidnapped victims have gained freedom after 67 days. Okrika Kingdom publicly restates its claim to the disputed land territory between the Leme and Okrika. We'll bring you details of these and other stories in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
This is CEMTV, reliable news and entertainment.
We begin our report from Rivers, where Port Harcourt residents react to presidential proposal to extend the duration of the National Youth Service Corps Orientation Program, which has continued to generate mixed reactions among Nigerians. CEMTV correspondents took to the streets of Port Harcourt and spoke with residents who shared their opinion on it. Now, speaking on the development, Mr. Onoha described the proposed extension as a misplaced priority, arguing that the country is still grappling with widespread insecurity. He maintained that the government should focus on addressing security challenges before considering an increase in the duration of the orientation exercise.
Our government look into it to help us. Let them help us. Give our children a job. We will train, make we shop. Maybe you train pikin finish, you still they suffer. If you don't get person for government, your pikin where you suffer how many years, train for school, no job. You go still become a body to you. They say bring a LYC from 3 weeks to 6. What is the meaning of that? That can't talk, no get any meaning. The ones where no go, where don't go, let him give them job. Let him create job for our youth, so that Nigeria go good and create security too. One woman from my tree go bush market, then carry am, go buy garri. Woman where they suffer, go bush market, then kidnap am. Okay, you never see 1 million, at to see 10 million. Then go kill and sell and pass by pass. And it's very bad. I beg, make una help us, talk to them, make them help us. e get people wey be petty traders wey dey sell pure water, dey sell small fruit, and you as you no get the opportunity go school, you suffer finish train your pikin. That your pikin wey say when I train my pikin finish, my pikin go look me, no job. Our government look into it to help us.
Now we go supposed to tackle insecurity first, leave the NYSC. When we finish this one, we'll do this one. The main problem we'll get for the country is insecurity. And what we supposed to tackle now, bring them down first. What I wanted the president for this now, make sure say there is security in the country. That one thing now, as the president, make sure say there is security for the country, for everybody to be safe. Your children go feed their school, your mind go dey beat. Your children go school, their house, your mind dey beat. You know the address. Like some states where they are say when they threaten, some people go down go carry the school for school. And for this state now, they say some places say school go close. Like for this state where they say where they kidnap the children, they say school close, school no resume there for some time. It's not good now. Their children go there, they run for where they supposed go be business in their house with children. It's not okay.
President Bola Tinubu stated that the extension is aimed at strengthening the orientation program and better preparing core members for national service. However, residents of Port Harcourt, who spoke with our correspondent, expressed differing views on the proposal. Also speaking, Ms. Precious said she would only support the extension if allowances paid to the core members are increased accordingly. She noted that a longer orientation period will place additional financial demands on participants, making improved welfare essential.
For me, I could have said if they extend it, I think the extension, they should also increase the salary of the student, because right now, I think there's no empowerment for students. So everybody is trying to rush in to school, then come out so that they can look for entrepreneurship or whatever to fall in to feed their tummy or their belly. So if the president is increasing it, so my own opinion, I think he should also increase the payments so students will not stress themselves unnecessarily.
In her contribution, Mrs. Chikodi urged the government to prioritize employment opportunities for graduates. She stressed that beyond extending the orientation program, authorities should create sustainable jobs to ensure that young Nigerians have meaningful opportunities after completing the NYSC scheme. On a separate development, amid the protracted land dispute between the Eleme and Okrika communities in Rivers State, the Okrika Kingdom has publicly restated its claim to the disputed territory, presenting what it describes as compelling historical documents and legal evidence in support of its opinion. The press briefing, convened to provide clarity on the kingdom's stance and address the controversies surrounding the long-standing boundary dispute, also served as a platform for traditional leaders to recount the historical evolution of the territory and reaffirm their claim of ownership. The development comes as public interest and tensions over the dispute continue to grow. Over our correspondent, Miracle Wobo reports. When that film is ready, we'll bring it to you. Moving on, meanwhile, Rivers State Governor Simlai Fubara has praised the Nigerian Army for its efforts in tackling pipeline vandalism, illegal oil bunkering, and improving security in Rivers State. Speaking during a visit by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waid Shaibu, Governor Fubara said the military's operations have helped increase crude oil production, improve safety, and boost government revenue. He also pledged continued support for the Army. The Army Chief in response thanked the Rivers State Governor for supporting preparations for the 163rd Nigerian Army Day celebration in Port Harcourt, saying that the week-long event will include activities aimed at strengthening relations between the military and the public. And on the national scene, As Nigeria joins the world to mark the 2026 World Rural Development Day, stakeholders have called on governments at all levels to prioritize research-based and all-inclusive investment in rural communities, stressing that a developed Nigeria can only be possible with the development of the 774 local government areas. Our correspondent Francis Oyoima Edet brings us the report.
As a stakeholder from the traditional rural aspect of rural governance, I feel that I owe a duty to my community, to my nation, in the sense that I should try as much as possible to collaborate with the relevant government agency at the tiers of governance to ensure that we foster decisions that will bring about peace, first of all, in our community, in our local government, state and nation, then to ensure that we liaise with government agency by bringing in development such as roads, such as health centers and all the rest of our people.
Where the traditional rulers play major roles, they are the people close to the people, and these traditional rulers, politicians tussle with them. At times when they want to play their major role, politicians tussle with them, and it looks as if they don't know what they are doing. And so the traditional rulers has major role to play by gathering these people together, enlightening them, carrying out enlightenment campaigns within the community. But in a situation where we have security votes and other things, the government don't release anything to the traditional rulers. And in as much as they don't release anything to the traditional rulers, you find the traditional rulers struggling to see how to raise funds to carry out sensitization to the within the community, to carry out empowerment within the community, and to let the community know that their destiny is in their hands. That whether government comes, government doesn't come, they have something to do to earn a living, not by doing what is wrong.
We are all surviving because of development in certain rural areas. Imagine a world without a rural area. So you think you're eating beans, rice, tomato, onions. Where are they coming from? People should understand a lot of things. It comes out in the mind. So there should be mindset reorientation, there should be physical transformation, there should be mental transformation, there should be psychological transformation, economic transformation, social transformation. You don't roads, social infrastructure and other related infrastructural issues are just one aspect of rural development. Rural development is life. For development to take place, it must first be based on needs. It must first be based on priority of the target communities. For example, if you want to do anything, you want to provide any form of infrastructure, you must first understand if that infrastructure is needed. Is it a priority in that local area?
Ekiti Church kidnapped victims regained freedom after 67 days. The worshippers abducted during an attack on a Christ Apostolic Church CAC crusade in Eda Uniyo, a Lejemeje local government area of Ekiti State, have regained their freedom after spending 67 days in captivity. The victims were rescued on Friday and have since been reunited with their families, according to the police. The victims were kidnapped on April 28, 2026, when heavily armed gunmen invaded a church revival service, killed the officiating pastor, and whisked away worshippers into the forest. Authorities say one of the abductees died while in captivity, while the remaining victims are receiving medical attention following their release. Ekiti State Police Command spokesperson Sunday Abutu confirmed the release, while the state government welcomed the development and commended security agencies for their efforts. The circumstances surrounding the victim's freedom were not disclosed as investigations into the incident continues. In another development, Aliko Dangote says the Dangote group of companies is currently executing 12 road projects worth about 3 trillion naira under the federal government's infrastructure tax credit scheme. According to a statement on Sunday, the 5th of July 2026, from the Director of Information and Public Relations at the Federal Ministry of Works, Mohammed Ahmed, he noted that the 2 road projects were awarded to Dangote Industries Nigeria Limited under the infrastructure tax credit scheme, with Dantata and Sawo Nigeria Limited serving as subcontractors. The announcement was made during the flag-off of the rehabilitation of the Bamabanki and Dinkwa Gamburu Gwangulu Ngala Road in Borno State, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said the roads will improve security, boost trade, and reconnect communities affected by insurgents. Dangote further stated that the company remains committed to supporting infrastructure development across Nigeria, while government officials and Borno State government and governor said the projects will promote economic growth, improve regional trade with Cameroon and Chad, and support the recovery of the Northeast. And still on the national news, the federal government reported plan to replace the National Youth Service Corps decades-old khaki uniform with an Adire-themed outfit has sparked conversations across the country. The proposed redesign, unveiled during a recent stakeholders engagement, is intended to promote Nigeria's cultural heritage and support the local textile industry. However, while some Nigerians see the initiative as a celebration of indigenous fashion, others have questioned its inclusiveness, durability, and whether it should be a national priority at a time of pressing economic and security challenges. CEMTV took to the streets to sample public opinion, and many residents expressed reservations about the proposed change. For Ajiri or Mosho Wafa, the timing of the proposal is his biggest concern. He questioned why a change of corps members' uniform is being prioritized at a time when many Nigerians are more worried about insecurity and other pressing national challenges.
I don't think that is important right now, because we have important issues to look at, like insecurity. That is one of the major problems we have in Nigeria. I think around May, they kidnapped teachers and students, and the government is not doing anything about it. They are focusing on uniform, which is not even the priority at the moment. So I think that the government should work hard on security issues. Because I can't even use public transport in the night because it's risky. I don't know if I'm going to enter the bus where kidnappers, I don't know, but...
You see the NYSC uniform that they are changing. For me, it's a no-no thing. Why I say it's a no-no thing is this. That is our national uniform. You are telling people to use Adere or Ankara. The Adere and Ankara is made for the Yoruba people. And as we know, it is not everybody that have gone through the university that for Yoruba. We have so many ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. I am an Izoman. You understand? So you don't expect me to use Adere or Ankara. If you are saying we should use Adere or Ankara, then I'm going to also introduce Etibo for the people to use. Tinubu is a big failure. He has failed us. This man is a failure. He said subsidy. Now look at his wife coming to insult the whole Nigeria, telling us to go and sell Akara. That is a big shame and disgrace. You are insulting the whole Nigeria. Why can't our children start Akara and corn business or kulikuli business? Because they are just stealing our money. I'm using this medium to tell all Nigerians, go and get your PVC. Let us take Tinubu out of office. Let us take APC out of office. APC is a nightmare in Nigeria. Anybody at this point who is still supporting APC, I think you upstairs. You are a mad. Any reasonable person can never support Tinubu. Neither we are not happy. Look, if people have my kind of mind, the mind I have, to put Tinubu out of the office just a slick.
Mrs. Akintam Beniwo Batonye also opposed the proposal, but from the practical standpoint, she expressed concerns that an Adire or Ankara fabric would fade more quickly than the traditional khaki uniform, making it less durable and potentially more expensive to maintain over time.
So the new NYSC uniform that we are seeing around there, so my own opinion, I think although it's a new development, but I think the Ankara material wouldn't last much longer compared to the khaki that we have initially. So, but although it's something that, with time, we just have to move on with new trend. So I think it's also welcome.
As discussions continue over the proposed redesign, many Nigerians say any change to the NYSC uniform should reflect the country's diversity, be practical for core members, and align with the nation's most pressing priorities. Whether the Adire-inspired outfit will eventually replace the iconic khaki uniform remains uncertain. But for now, the proposal has sparked a broader conversation about culture, national identity, and governance. Moving on, former Vice President of Nigeria Atiku Abubakar and former Governor of Anambra State Peter Obi have called for an investigation into the reports that Nigeria failed to disclose public spending worth about 8.8 trillion naira in recent budgets. The two opposition leaders were reacting to reports that the International Monetary Fund (IMF) raised concerns over unreported government spending carried out outside the formal budget process. Atiku called for anti-corruption agencies, Auditor General of Nigeria, and the National Assembly to investigate the matter, while Peter Obi said the funds should have been properly accounted for. The federal government has denied allegations, saying that the IMF's comments were misunderstood. However, the IMF has said that the government has started taking steps to improve budget reporting and increase transparency in public spending. In a related development, the federal government has dismissed claims that more than 8 trillion naira, representing about 2% of Nigeria's gross domestic product, was spent outside the approved budget, describing the allegations as false and misleading. In a press release issued on Saturday, the Federal Ministry of Finance said the government does not operate, quote, a shadow budget, unquote, and that all public expenditures are carried out in line with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution and laws enacted by the National Assembly. The clarification followed public commentary referring to the IMF's 2026 Article 4 consultation report, which some interpret as evidence of unlawful spending. The ministry explained that the government expenditures are authorized through Appropriation Acts, Supplementary Appropriation Acts, and other statutory provisions, while the multi-year capital projects and statutory transfers are legally recognized components of the Nigerian Public Finance Framework. It stressed that these expenditures are lawful, transparent, and subject to legislative oversight and audit. The statement further noted that the IMF's observations relate to the presentation and timing of fiscal reporting rather than the legality of government expenditure. It reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to prudent fiscal management, transparency, and accountability, while urging the public to base discussions on verified facts and accurate understanding of Nigeria's fiscal framework. Report on African News says that the Zimbabwean government has directed civil registry offices across the country to give priority to citizens returning from South Africa who need identity documents. The Registrar General Henry Machiri said officials have been instructed to assist returnees quickly without unnecessary delays. Some staff have also been deployed to the Beit Bridge border post to process identity documents and provide guidance for those returning home. The move is aimed at helping returnees replace or obtain important documents needed to access government services and settle back into their communities. And separately, Nigerian government has condemned comments made by a South African minister linking Nigeria to Nigerians to drug-related activities, describing the remarks as unacceptable. The reactions follows the killing of a Nigerian man, Joe, outside his shop in South Africa on June 28, 2026. They also stated that it has placed the South African government on notice over the safety of her citizens and warned that further action would be taken if attacks and discriminations against foreigners continue. The dispute comes amid rising anti-migrant sentiments in South Africa, where some groups have called on undocumented foreigners to leave the country, and Nigeria has also begun documenting properties and businesses left behind by her citizens who have returned home. And on the foreign scene, a fast-moving wildfire broke out on Saturday near Thessalonica, Greece's second-largest city, which forced residents of 3 nearby communities to evacuate. The fire spread quickly through dry vegetation and damaged several businesses, but no homes were destroyed. Authorities also evacuated a facility housing about 157 people with special needs and moved them to safer locations. Firefighters are still working to contain the blaze as strong winds continue to fuel the fire. Greece police have arrested a 76-year-old man on the suspicion of starting the fire, and investigations are ongoing. Moving on, United States President Donald Trump celebrated the country's 250th anniversary with a speech in Washington, D.C., where he praised America's achievements and said that, quote, "the best is yet to come," unquote. The event was briefly delayed because of bad weather, but later continued with fireworks and other celebrations.
Good evening, America. If you think that was easy, it wasn't. And I want to thank everybody because they did the right thing. They saw lightning, and I said, there's no way if we have to speak in front of one person at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be here. There's no way we can be deterred. And they estimated they had 375,000 people before everybody had to leave. And they now have 150,000 people. It's the craziest thing anyone's ever seen, at least. And I want to just thank you, and I feel so badly about some people. They left and they couldn't get back. But you're very special people, and we have a very special country. Thank you very much. Tonight we come together for one of the most joyous and glorious milestones of all time, and you know what that is, 250, the 250th anniversary. And I do have to say this. One of my very brilliant people backstage said, "Don't worry about it, sir. We can do it maybe next week." I said, "It doesn't work next week. This is the big day. We want July 4th. We're not looking for July something else. Because this is the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Nothing like it. For 2.5 centuries, our American republic has stood as the crowning achievement of human history.
During the speech, Trump called on Congress to pass stricter voting laws, including mandatory voter ID and proof of citizenship. He also warned against the spread of communism and also repeated his administration's foreign policy achievements. On the same day, Trump held separate phone conversations with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin, where they discussed the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war and efforts to achieve peace ahead of the upcoming NATO summit. More stories still ahead, including these headlines. More than 45 million Nigerians now receive healthcare services every quarter of the year through health facilities across the country, says the federal government. Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies approved another increase of 188,000 barrels per day of oil production. Details of these and other stories in just a moment. Please stay tuned.
What's on your mind today? The goal by Victor Osimhen was amazing.
The economy Isn't that what's on everybody's mind?
I would like to see more women in positions of authority. If you heard and saw it from CEMTV, you can take it to the bank. CEMTV, your reliable source of news, information, and entertainment.
The federal government has said that more than 45 million Nigerians now receive health care services every quarter of the year through health facilities across the country under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Speaking in Bauchi, the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, said that the improvement is a result of the increased investment in primary health care, medical equipment, health care workers, ambulances, and essential medical supplies. Pate also highlighted several health projects in Bauchi State, including upgraded federal health institutions and new medical centers. He said that the federal government has also provided medical equipment, drugs, and other healthcare commodities to primary healthcare centers across 15 local government areas in the state. In Business Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, OPEC Plus has approved another increase of 188,000 barrels per day in oil production for the month of August, which makes it the third straight monthly increase as the group continues to gradually restore the oil supplies to the global market. OPEC said that the move is aimed at maintaining stability in the oil market and that production levels could be adjusted depending on the market conditions. The group also reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring member countries comply with agreed production quotas. The decision could put further pressure on the global oil prices for exporting countries such as Nigeria if supply continues to rise, as Nigeria produces an average of 1.73 million barrels of crude oil and condensate per day in May, and is working towards meeting its 2026 production target of 1.84 million barrels per day. In another development, World Trade Organization Director General Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala arrives at the WTO Open Day event at the organization's headquarters in Geneva. The event brought members of the public closer to the work of the World Trade Organization, with a focus on global trade, economic cooperation, and the role of international trade in supporting development. Dr. Okonjo-Iweala's presence at the Open Day highlighted the WTO's efforts in promoting transparency, public engagement, and a better understanding of how trade policies affect businesses, governments, and consumers around the world. As global trade continues to face challenges from economic uncertainties, the supply chain pressures, and geopolitical tensions, the WTO says it remains committed to supporting a more open, fair, and inclusive trading systems. And in sports, Nigeria striker David Ankeye has completed a permanent move to Serbian Superliga club FK Zelenika Pančevo from Italy's side Genoa. The 22-year-old signed a 3-year contract that will keep him at the club until June 2029. And the Serbian club confirmed a transfer fee was only 500,000 euros, which is about 800 million naira. Ankeye joined Genoa in January 2024, but struggled for regular playing time, making 11 appearances before spending time on loan at clubs in Romania, Italy, and Cyprus. Speaking after the move, Ankeye said he is excited to begin a new chapter and hopes to help the team succeed. He also revealed that former Cameroonian and Barcelonian star Samuel Eto'o is the football's idol, and he is also FK Zelenska Pančevo's fourth signing player for the summer transfer window, following the arrival of Biligi Nemanja Zaric and Mamane Amando Saba. And on entertainment news, wife of the late former Nigerian ambassador to Spain, Demola Siriki's wife, Sholape Siriki has announced that Femi Otedola, a Nigerian businessman, gifted her 50 million naira.
My husband's friend, he just gave us 50 million naira. And it means a lot to us because my late husband, his first political appointment
was given
to him by
Uncle Femi's father as Commissioner of Sports.
Yes, Sir Michael Otedola. May his soul rest in peace.
Video shared on Sunday, July 5th, 2026, should like express gratitude to Otedola for the support, saying it meant a lot to her family. She also recalled that her late husband received his first political appointment from Otedola's father, the late Sir Samuel Otedola, who appointed him Commissioner for Sports. The donation comes weeks after Sholape publicly raised concerns over a dispute involving her late husband's estate, in which she alleged that some properties and assets meant for her children were being withheld, claiming that some ownership documents have been altered after her husband's death. She also said she has evidence to support her claims. Following the announcement, many Nigerians praised Femi Otedola on social media for his generous gesture and support during the family's difficult times. And that's it on CEMTV News at the hour. But before we go, a recap of some of the major stories. We told you that CEMTV's correspondent spoke with residents of Port Harcourt following the federal government's proposal to extend the duration of the National Youth Service Corps Orientation Program. We also told you that Ekiti Church kidnap victims have regained freedom after 67 days. We informed you that the Okrika Kingdom has publicly restated its claim to the disputed land territory between Eleme and Okrika. In health, we informed you that the federal government has said that more than 45 million Nigerians now receive health care services every quarter of the year through health facilities across the country. And in business, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies have approved another increase of 188,000 barrels per day in oil production. That's it on this package of CEMTV News. But remember to follow us, like and share our pages, and make comments on all our social media handles. It's CEMTVPLUS across X, Facebook, Thread, and Instagram. You can watch live on YouTube, CEMTVPLUS, or on Nightcomsat channel, free-to-air on free-to-air decoder. Thanks for watching. My name is Mebaka Iyenegi. Do have a pleasant night rest.
Hey up, hey up, hey up.